Hello and welcome back to the Byzantines. So, last time we were trying to get an heir, and we're pretty much still trying to get an heir. Not for lack of trying. We are married, and our wife is fecund and lustful, which is 75% fertility between them, so it's 25% from lustful, 50% for fecund. So, I would think our chances of having a child would be pretty high with that level of increased fertility. We, as far as I know, do not have any negatives. I'm just going to hover over these for a second just to, satisfy my own curiosity. But yeah, we have no negatives, so at some point we should get an heir. Somewhere. That's kind of the hope. We're also trying to seduce this person here. Why are we trying to seduce them? Well, because seductions also give you a chance at children. Now, obviously, there would be a bastard child, but at this point, we're kind of at the point where we'll take what we can get. If we don't have a child by the end of this episode, I may have to look into the conditions for adoption and figure out how exactly we can make that happen. However, I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, because that seems a fairly drastic thing to do on your first character who started in his mid-20s. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. What's been suggested by the comments is that we consider having a look in here. Now, what did they suggest we have a look at? They suggested we have a look at the Reset Perks option. Now, I've never used this option, because generally when I make a choice I like to stick with it, but as people pointed out, there's not actually a lot in Theologian that I was very fond of. So we could potentially get out of some of this and get into some of this. Now, having looked at it, there are some benefits to Theologian. Now, Zealous Proselytizer obviously has no benefit whatsoever, so it's just a completely wasted perk at this point, because all of our land is Orthodox, so therefore this is useless. Faithful and Church and State do have a purpose. What they have is 50 opinion with Realm Priest and 10 opinion with Clergy. This means that this guy likes us a lot. He likes us, I believe, plus 60. Now, the positive with that is that he will pay us money. And then if he dies, his successor will also pay us money and give us levies. And so, effectively, those are worth 0.2 per month to us, right? Those two perks are worth 0.2 per month. We may still get it without those perks, but we can kind of put a monetary value on them. It also gives us religious relations efficiency. What does that actually give us? So that's giving us piety and orthodox theocratic ruler opinion. So not a huge amount. Although I guess, well, it probably doesn't change the side effects. So yeah, I guess it's giving us some piety. Is that clerical justifications? Yeah. So it's giving us 0.17 piety and 1.7 opinion. It's not incredible, I gotta say. It's not incredible. So that perk is probably not worth it. So if we say that this perk is not worth it, basically what we're asking ourselves then is, do we want 50 Realm Priest opinion? Well, I don't know. 50 Realm Priest opinion. Let's take that away from this guy here. So assume he doesn't have that. These cancel each other out, right? So that's a 0. 5, 9, 24, 29, 38, 53, and then that'll be, I don't know why this is so hard for me. This will be 72, right? Yes, that seems correct to me. So, this guy would still like me a lot. And would he still pay me 0.2? Yeah. Yeah, he would probably still pay me 0.2. Or at least very close to 0.2. So I think that probably we can ditch this and this. I think we could take Faithful. I think Faithful is okay as a single point. But I think we could ditch these three. If we wanted to. What would we get instead? Well, I'd probably get Pedagogy here in order to make our wards gain additional skills, as it's unlikely that we're going to be able to attract people who are very good at educating our children. So we could probably educate them ourselves. Our learning isn't bad, and learning is kind of the fallback stat for education, so that could work. Although we could also send our children elsewhere if we wanted to instead. We don't need anything in this line because these two are basically dead perks for us because we are not the cultural head, so that does not apply to us. Increasing development in county efficiency would only apply if I'm increasing development in county, which currently we're not. So scholarly circles would be the only good one here, which is okay, but even then it's not incredible. Like, it's not worth 3 perks. Here, we're not interacting with a different culture at all. There is no cultural acceptance, there are no minority vassals, and I don't care what language they speak because everyone speaks Greek. Well, actually, is that true? Is that what the language actually is here? I'm assuming it is Greek. It doesn't say, but I would assume that that is correct. Yes, everybody speaks Greek. Wonderful. So none of that gets us anything. And then you're kind of on to learn on the job, which is pretty good, but is it worth, you know, what would end up being 4 perks that are not good? Probably not, right? Sanctioned loopholes wouldn't really be worth anything because we're not going to declare war on our fellow vassals, and then scholarly is very, very, very good, but you need to put a lot into it. So right now, maybe this one we would switch to, and then we would just put points in whole of body. So in our theoretical world where we do this, we take these 3 perks, we get pedagogy, we get wash your hands, we get iron constitution, we get carefree. That seems pretty solid to me. We get less stress, we have plague resistance, and we're less likely to get illnesses. We have a disease resistance against fertility, which will take away any chances that we don't have children, and we would have massive health boosts, so we're unlikely to die. This seems pretty good to me. And then with our extra perk that we're about to get, we'd get mental resilience, which will give us time between mental breaks, which doesn't really matter too much, but it's nice to have. I think that seems pretty good to me. So, with that in mind, I'm going to wait until we get the next perk, then I'm going to do it. Why? Because I don't entirely trust the game to not drop our experience back down to 0. I don't know if it does that or not. I have absolutely no proof one way or the other whether it does that. But, you know, I would like to be secure. Okay, in terms of other things, we have some money. We should spend some money. We already have an olive grove. What is the upgrade to the olive grove? It is an olive grove. It is the exact same. It is an additional 0.3 and it's a plague resistance up. However, it does cost 160 gold, while I think the initial one only cost 80. So it's the exact same thing, but for double the price. I don't think we need that right now. What else could we get in here? What might be good? I do like domicile building construction speed down. I think that's always a nice one to have. Yeah. Development growth is interesting. So I assume that development growth applies to whatever holding you have your estate in. Which is definitely interesting. And it pays you quite a lot. Yeah, what's the top level? 24% development growth and 2.4? That's pretty good. You know, that's got some potential to be very, very good and very lucrative. The wine room building line I'm not too worried about right now. And the mulberry copse we can't currently do. You know what? Let's start working on our grain fields. I think this is going to be really, really good. I think development growth is going to be great if we can stick that in our capital of whatever building or of whatever holdings we have. Yeah, I think this is gonna be very solid for us. So let's construct that. Costs us a lot of our money, but I mean, what else are we spending it on? We're not actually doing anything currently with our money. I mean, I could buy more like soldiers, but even then, actually, no, I'm maxed out on men at arms. I guess I could buy imperial armies, but that seems unnecessary currently. Okay, do I have any positions I want to fill in here? No, I'm fine. I don't need a tutor until we have somebody to tutor. Right. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a little look at our unmarried courtiers just to see who is currently available. So we have Romanus. Romanus was previously married to Ekaterine. However, she died on the mountain trail. Of course, she died moments after we got her. Yes, so you are definitely going to remarry. You could marry Apollonia. Sure. Why don't you marry her? That seems fine. Well, I don't know. Is that the best option? I mean, you could always marry my courtier here, but we're trying to seduce her currently, so I'd rather you didn't. Yeah, there aren't a ton of options. So, yeah, what were you actually doing in my court? I don't really know. You're just kind of here, so I guess you would be fine for now then. You would just accept it. You're not really a huge fan of it, but, you know, we can make it happen. You're going to stay unmarried. Our court jester, he has incredible diplomacy. Maybe we marry him off to somebody with very high diplomacy. I don't know, unless there's an... Oh, wait, there's an inheritable trait. You can marry Nonna. Oh, okay. Now I've seen one inheritable trait. Let me have a look. Maybe there are more. It's only Nonna. In which case, you are going to marry Nonna. And we may seduce Nonna later, depending on how desperate we are for children. So, let's do that. And then we have our bodyguard here. Okay, bodyguard. You got anyone with an inheritable trait who isn't that person? So, that would be a no then. I don't know. Let's say maximum... Well, they're all in that age range. I don't know. I think that you could marry Kale. They seem fine. They do have novice physician as a trait. That's kind of intriguing. Yeah, we could maybe make use of that. Okay, let's marry them off. Wonderful. Right. Then I'm going to unpause. Okay. And we do also have other things to do in our land, but we'll deal with them in just a second. I just want to make sure I got the courtiers married off first. Wonderful. Right, perk. We're going to take... it doesn't matter, because I'm going to take this and then immediately reset all my perks. Faithful, pedagogy, anatomical studies, wash your hands, iron constitution, carefree. Wonderful. Exactly what I said I was going to take. Just seems like good options, basically. Right. We have raiding peasants. What is up with the raiding peasants? A self-organized band of peasants has been raiding our lands from across the border. Let's deal with it. Concerning news have come from Metzovo. Apparently a group of local peasants has taken up arms and, in unruly gangs, ventured beyond our borders into Bulgarian territory. The practice itself is unlikely to cause diplomatic concerns, but military actions and the possession of weapons are a prerogative of the army. Any violation of the law, therefore, must be investigated. To say we'll deal with it in time, which is a failure, I need to see it for myself. I will see it for myself, I guess, rather than taking an automatic failure. Also, we should have a caravan master, even if they're not very good, so you shall be my caravan master. Wait, on second thoughts, let's go. I didn't mean to close it, really. I just wanted to clear that out. There we go. Let's go. And we're off. Right. Echoing horns. The echoing call of horns fills the air as we traverse the mountains near Epirios. The hill forts resonate with the sound, a call to arms that is sounded through generations. Mere seconds after the first blaring, a throng of garrisoned Greek warriors emerge from the closest fortification, charging a group of terrified highwaymen and bandits. We must help them? Oh, right. Okay, help the Greek warriors. That makes sense. I was reading it initially and I was like, what do you mean we must help them? What, help the bandits? No. Okay. We wait and then we pick the bodies clean. Anatolios, aid them. We will stay here. There's a high chance he slays the bandit leader, or this is not our battle. Well, it does seem quite dangerous for us. I will send my bodyguard off to help them. He has done it. He has slain this guy in the Death Fight Killer event. Okay. Raiding peasants. When I reach Metzovo, my information proves to be correct. It doesn't take my guards long to round up a considerable group of locals, all in possession of unauthorized weapons. We need them to defend ourselves and our families, they protest. Those Bulgarian scoundrels can't be trusted. They need to learn to stay well away from us. Do you need any unofficial help? So this would give us peasant border raids, which would lower our control, increase the garrison, and also raise the hostile raid time. Now, there's going to be something very important to find out here. Are you actually capable of raiding? Because I don't think you are. Oh, wait a second. No, that's Konia's men-at-arms. Okay, so very important information about Bulgaria. Bulgaria is not capable of raiding. So this means that hostile raid time means almost nothing to us unless we're really, really worried about these guys getting on a boat, going all the way around here and raiding us. I mean, is there anybody who could... I mean, I guess these guys could maybe raid us. Right? We could maybe be raided by Raska, but they only have 400 troops. I mean, we don't have much more, but still. Yeah, I think these are the only people nearby who can actually raid us. Or who might actually raid us, and I just don't think they will. Or give me all the gold you raided and you can go. Yeah, give me your gold. That seems like a much better answer for us. We have returned home and we gained 1 experience in horse. Okay. Sure. And now we zoom out and... Troubadour's dedication. A troubadour will soon be performing for the court at Arta. It'd be a simple request to have him change the performance to be a dedication to Damian, the target of my affection. It will be a bold declaration to the lady. I prefer veiled illusions, or I should not dabble. I should not dabble because we're at max percentage success chance, so therefore, what am I doing here? Why am I trying to increase it by 15%? Like, it just won't do anything. So, no, I will forsake this opportunity. If it had a chance of progressing it quicker, we would be more interested in that, but it doesn't. So, I mean, it's that simple, really. Court Jester. Food fight. My liege, I know something that will cheer you up. Watch closely as I sneak up on my prey. My jester, Adrianos, whispers to me. What is he up to? Hungry, Adrianos screams, hurling a spoonful of rice and honey pudding in the face of my bodyguard, Anatolius. What a priceless expression. Oh, and Anatolia seems to have taken it somewhat fine. Oh, joy, what fun. So I can lose some stress. I can lose less stress, or I can say fight. I'm going to lose less stress, but get us closer to a friendship with our bodyguard. That seems useful. Okay. And it's time for Under the Open Sky. Damian and I crouch side by side, the powerful aurochs in front of us unaware of our presence. My own attention is unwavering, especially as Damian's dress brushes against me. When I reach over to embrace her, I find that she also had her attention elsewhere. As the aurochs disappear into the plains, our naked flesh is already cradled by the soft earth, as well as each other. So she becomes our lover, or she doesn't. She shall be our lover, because we really, really do need an heir. Although I have realized something else. It may be worth seducing our wife. I know, it's crazy, but I think it might just work. We're going to try and seduce our wife next, in hopes that we can get ourselves an heir. Because really that's all we want, because we really, really need one of those to get the ball rolling with things. So, let's see how this goes. A moment alone. No one would ever find it strange that I sit with my wife by the fireplace until late in the evening, yet there is a tension in the air. I want nothing more than to pull her close and tear the clothes from her body. If she knew that, she would be horrified. Or a hand on her hand would say it all. There's a chance we get smoldering chemistry. Again, we're at 95%. This does not matter. we can attempt to kiss her. Or it'd be a terrible shame to ruin a wonderful evening. Well, kissing her would get us 10 opinion, potentially. Let's try it. Georgia returns my kiss, and for a few heart-pounding moments, all is right with the world. It cannot last, of course, as we hastily break off before we are seen by a passing servant. When we leave to go our separate ways, she gazes at me. I did not fully understand until now, husband. You and I, dearest wife. So that gets us 10 opinion. Wonderful. A gift of labor. Everyone appreciates a gift, but perhaps I could come up with something truly unique that will make a real impression on Lady Georgia. So I can have commissioned poetry on the joys of life dedicated to her. A wood carving of a castle, or no. So do I think that she would like the physical pleasures of life, or at least poetry? Yes, she is lustful. I choose that. Thank you so much for the poems and the joys of life you gave me. I can scarce remember the last time I received such a wonderful gift. You get budding interest, which doesn't matter at all because is adding on to her success chance, which is already 95%. I can pardon my lover because we found out that she is a fornicator? That is shocking. I'm not going to pardon... She has been with child for 2 months. Potential heir. I'm not going to imprison her for that. No. No hope of doing... or no chance of us doing that. Bulgaria has won a war against the tyranny. Fantastic. Someone else. My wife, Lady Georgia, is once again absent from our chamber as night falls. She has been distant lately, lost in thought and rarely seen at court. Am I not to her satisfaction? Is she simply busy, or could she be warming someone else's bed? So what I'm wondering here is, well, I don't think she is, right? Although we are arbitrary, which I think could potentially give you this. But anyway, I don't think she is, but I'm wondering whether this event is happening because it says that she's part of a seduction and we're seducing her. So I'm wondering whether the event is happening because we're seducing her. But I don't think she is. But I'll say, do you have another, Georgia? How could you even say such a thing? Ioannis, I would never take a lover. Lady Georgia seems genuinely upset as she denies my accusations. Well, I don't know why. I have little choice but to take her at her word. That's going to be very awkward in about 3 months where we have a child with this person. Yeah, that's going to be a very awkward conversation. Anyway, we'll have an heir. We can have the awkward conversation with an heir. Our wife is pregnant. Ah, well, fate smiles upon me. My wife, Lady Georgia, is bearing my child. I cannot wait to hold the babe in my arms. Ah, you wait for an heir and then 2 come round at once. Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. My beloved wife. The servants have all been sent away and our bed has been decorated with seashells. As Lady Georgia enters our chamber, she smiles coolly and joins me without any hesitation. With the help of hands, mouths, and limbs, we reaffirm the devotion we swore before God, perhaps in a more carnal fashion than intended. Okay. Well, she can also become our lover. That is fine. And we have finished our grain field. Fantastic. Liege has gone to war against the Abbasids. There's a bold move. In a holy war for the sheikdom of Cilicia. Which is where? Oh, there. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yep. They're about evenly matched. However, the Abbasids are currently defending in a sponsored conquest over here. And they're defending against the Tulanids. Okay, so we'll see how this goes for our liege. It might go okay. Okay. And now, do we have an heir? We have a learning perk for mental resilience. Has she had a child yet? She has had a child. Is this child not my heir? Wait a second. This isn't our child? He is a bastard. Yes. But he is not necessarily our bastard. That's what I'm hearing here. Huh. When is your birthday, child? Huh. Alright then. Maybe we will imprison her. Ah, my son and heir. Oh, Georgia, you've been so brave, so strong. Words cannot describe my love for you. And now we have a perfect little son. One day, child, you will carry on my legacy. What name would befit a strategos? So you are our first child. Eugenius. I don't know if that's our name. Why don't you give me another name? An orthodox name. Abraham. You could be Abraham. Patrick. Georgios. Benedict. Salvador. Zacharias. You know what? We'll have a Zach. There we go. We're going to have Zacharias. Okay. The Saint of Nicopolis. The people of Nicopolis are abuzz with talk of a holy man, some Kiros, who has been living the life of the ancient saints. Like those we usually call stylites, he has elected an old column in town as his home. He spends his whole life on top of it, tied tightly so not to fall, covered in rags, eating only the food that well-meaning disciples hoist up to him with a rope and pulley. It's not uncommon that con men make a living out of our citizens' misguided charity, faking their wounds and flaunting a well-practiced air of holiness. But what if Kiros is a genuine saint? Well, I can say he has been blessed by God, pay him some money, gain ourselves some piety, and increase the control level. Okay. I shall test him ourselves. The chance we increase our governor efficiency. And there is a chance he is a real saint, which could get us a nice big bonus. However, there is a chance we just lose some influence. However, either way we'd be stressed due to being arbitrary and zealous. For holy men have long stopped walking among us. We would get 2 experience in the strategos trait, gain some influence, but we would gain stress. I believe this man has been blessed by God, so we will support him. I'm also certain that in about 2 seconds he's about to be wiped from the face of the earth, because that's the way the game works. Okay. Okay then. I'm also wondering with our wife here, I believe that yes, even though we've seduced her, we can now romance her. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see how this goes. Okay, how am I gonna declare my undying love for her? So what would she want? Would she want a love ballad? A letter in her chambers, impress her by winning a sparring match, or go with my gut? I'm gonna go with my gut. My declaration of love is for Lady Georgia's eyes only. No one else matters. I pour my heart out, page after page, my feelings growing as I finally put them into words. The ink is barely dried as I set out for Georgia's chambers. I gently place the scroll on her bolster. Will she lay here tonight, dreaming of me? The waiting is unbearable. The thought of rejection makes me sick to my stomach. When her reply arrives, I tear the seal with shaking hands. While I cannot encourage you, strategos Ionas, I am most grateful for your kind words. Yours faithfully, Georgia. She won't resist my charms for long, it says. Okay, cool. Also, I think with our son here, definitely not going to click the castrate kin option. What we will do is we will educate the child ourselves. Now, we may find him someone better to finish his education, but until he's 6, we might as well do it, because I don't believe you get any proper points for education until you're 6 anyway. We do need a wet nurse, because we would like childhood development events, so that can be my lover here. Okay. And we need a tutor. And the best tutor we currently have is Kale, who is a novice physician. Sure, you can be our tutor. For now. Wonderful. So now we have a son. And now I believe we can make him our heir as well. So that would be the Them of Epirus Influence Candidacy. Zacharias. We're going to put forward a major... I can't do this. He's a child. Ah. Well. I shall wait till he becomes an adult, and then I will do that. However, we will no longer game over if we die, even if he is a child, which is a positive. Okay. Cool. Well, we have started. We've taken the first step forward, which is definitely better than nothing. New nobility. There is a new name among the magnates of the Byzantine Empire. The Chlorococus family has gained the right to be considered part of the nobility. Through corruption, intrigue, or actual worth, that I can't say. It doesn't matter, I'm sure they won't amount to more than a grain of sand, ready to be swept away by the turbulent winds of history, and the inexorable advance of House Hexavulus. Okay. So, there is now a new family. This dude's family. Okay. I mean, that's fine. And he got the Them of Strimon. Anyway, it's fine. Doesn't really bother me one way or the other. We're pretty happy where we are. You could upgrade the villa. Oh, our wife is pregnant again. Okay. So we can't upgrade the grain fields. I guess the only one we can actually upgrade it. Oh, no, there's internal upgrade slots for the villa as well? Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. So we could get the Ingratiate Family Scheme. Attempts to win the favor of a house. Okay. We get monthly martial lifestyle experience. Is that all that gives you? No. On war victory, every house member gains influence, prowess, advantage, and the monthly lifestyle. Okay. Private study reduces influence cost for promoting candidates in the governorship of your estate. In the governorship your estate is located in. Ah, another reason to move your estate. So originally I was like, there is a reason to move it. It's a little odd. This gives you another reason, because in theory, you could move your estate somewhere that you want to make, that you want to place a candidate in, and then you don't need to spend as much influence to make it happen. Enables the Mentor and Governance Scheme. Is a political scheme for improving the governor efficiency of another governor. It is based on stewardship and can recruit agents. Okay, what's the final level of that one? It's just, like, it seems to just be kind of a better version. Okay. And you get more experience when you complete contracts. What does this one get into? This one doesn't even seem to improve that much. Oh, never mind. Personal scheme phase length is 40 days faster per scheme phase. That's pretty good. Servants' quarters. So, hostile scheme phase length is faster per scheme phase? Okay, yeah. Okay, no, I was reading it wrong initially. Initially, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But no, it's your hostile schemes, obviously. The way I initially read it is that enemy hostile schemes would be quicker, and I'm like, why would you ever want that? But that's because it's not what it says. Unlocks the hire agent's decision. Okay. So you could potentially hire to get some people who are very good at hostile schemes, and then you can get more schemes. That actually is another way of getting +1 hostile scheme. You can also get it via the intrigue lifestyle. So potentially you could have 3 schemes at once, at least of those 3. Okay. Book collection improves your monthly learning lifestyle experience. You can then make it a library, which makes your personal physician better. Tutor's office makes your Oh, right. It makes your tutor salary cost less. And then children educated in your court may gain a rank 5 education trait. Okay. There is a negative to gaining a rank 5 education trait. And I mentioned this, I think, when we were looking at... I think it's something in... Oh no, it's a dynasty legacy. There's a new dynasty legacy. Well, I say new. It was new when I looked at it. It's like down here somewhere. Yeah. In legitimacy, so select a 5th level education trait to make more common within your dynasty. The negative of this is that you cannot go to university if you have a rank 5 education trait. Now, why does that matter? Well, university is an incredibly valuable activity if you can actually go on it. The reason why I've changed my mind slightly on it is having played a couple more late game situations recently. Universities are very, very, very expensive. So, actually, it may not matter, right, whether you can go or not, because you probably couldn't go very often, even if you could go. But there is a bit of logic to saying that actually, if you want to get the most perks the quickest, you almost want to start at like a level 3 education and just spam university. Well, I say spam, you can only go once every 20 years, but like go when you're 20, then go when you're 40. And then you would get a ton of perks potentially from it. Anyway, this side, legend spread chance. Okay, and then what's this one? More legend spread chance. Okay, and then they already give you the monthly learning lifestyle experience. Okay. What might be fun is to get each ruler who we have to improve upon the villa in their own way. I think that could be kind of neat. So potentially we could get this character, because he's a very learning-based character, to give ourselves the book collection. And then another character who's more intrigue-based may invest in the servants' quarters, or so on and so forth. We'll see how it goes. Bath. Personal physician sickness, safe treatment success chance slightly increased. Okay. That seems good. Yeah, it makes safe treatments, like, much better. And then gives you attraction bonuses and reduces the amount of chance that you get plague. Very good. Guest room. Domicile influence goes up. Top level. Personal scheme success chance and domicile influence. Okay. Some of these are just stats. Some of these seem more interesting. Ah, here's the wine room we couldn't find previously. Unlocks the wine selection activity option for the feast activity. And it gives you better wine options. Okay, that's fine. And then the other thing that we saw makes wine room better, so it must mean that your options end up being better even if they're worse, even if they're like lower ranked. Anyway. Increase opinion when gained when hosting a feast in this location. And it makes your political scheme phase lengths faster. Okay, political schemes are challenge status, depose, expand power base, generate claim, promote, and slander. Okay, and then the other ones make it better. Okay. Fair enough. That's another thing, actually, I noticed. Another reason to move your estate. So you gain bonuses when you host in the location that your estate is located in. So, if you want to get bonuses from things in certain locations, you may want to move your estate to that location. Okay. Depends how many times you're going to do it, right? Say that you're planning on just for some reason non-stop doing feasts in one location, you would be better off moving your estate there so that you don't have to travel. Okay. Monthly income from hostages, 5%. Dread gain. Here's me going, hostages give you income? I probably knew that at one point and then just never actually followed up on it. They probably don't give you a high enough amount that I was like, oh yeah, I need to care about that. Discovering secrets with torture grants influence. Okay. And it gets you renown from hostages and it gets you dread gain. Okay, cool. Reception hall. This has a lot of text on it. Members of House Hexavulus will receive an additional 0 legitimacy upon becoming Basileus of the Byzantine Empire. Oh, well, that's pretty good, yeah. This value increases when house members host a feast or grand wedding in the barony where the Hexavulus estate is located. Ah, okay. 100% of legitimacy counter lost on succession. 100% of legitimacy counter lost on succession. So, this... Okay, I understand what's happening. You have a reception hall. You host a feast. This goes up, this counter goes up. When you inherit the Byzantine Empire, you would get the legitimacy. If at any time you do not inherit the Byzantine Empire, you will lose all legitimacy, and the next character has to start from scratch. Okay, interesting. And then each level makes it so you lose less and less of that legitimacy counter, to the point where at the max level it's then giving you a huge amount of bonuses. Ah, I understand. Okay. Building upgrades dependent on contributed artifacts. Slightly increased quality of sponsored artifacts. Househead can ask for artifacts to request as Househead interaction. Learning per level of influence is up by 1. Okay. Hall of Wonders is the same, but it makes your antiquarian better. Commissioned artifacts cost less, and it increases the quality. And then the next level gives you more stewardship per level of influence and learning per level of influence. Actually, you also get stewardship at this level as well. Yeah, okay. Cool. I mean, that is very good. Again. And then the final one, just because we looked through all of them now, stress gain is down here, and dynasty opinion is up. I'm assuming this is, yeah, this is just kind of flat stat stuff, at least on the first couple levels. Then it gets into renown. Then, on White Piece, every house member loses stress. Huh. Okay. Cool. I'm going to do a book collection. That's what we're going to make here. Wonderful. Right. Let's carry on. Okay. So, war declared on Liege by leader Christophorus. So, this is a peasants' revolt, which doesn't seem that strong. Okay, is it in our lands? No. Wonderful. Prematurely. The child was not meant to be. My wife, Lady Georgia, assures me it is the way of life, but her hand lingers on her belly. She is no longer pregnant. Ah. Do you think she'd appreciate our romance gesture? Because that's what's about to happen. Intruder. Every time I close my eyes, I see Lady Georgia's face. Sleep will not come. I cannot wait another moment. Cloaked in shadows, I make my way to the garden outside her living quarters. The sight of Georgia's chamber window makes my heart stutter. So close, and yet so far. But wait! Who is that climbing up the tower? The shady figure stops at Georgia's window and unlatches the shutter. You can say, we must save her. Guards, guards, there is an intruder in the tower. I did not come here to rescue, or to wrestle a burglar. I do like that in theory this is a way to get your romance target wounded if you really want it, but no, I must save her. The sounds from the struggle above is the greatest motivator I have ever known. Without care for life or limb, I hoist myself through Lady Georgia's window. The scene that meets me is not what I expected. Overturned furniture, shredded curtains, and Georgia standing over an unmoving body with a bloody dagger in her hand. Georgia, are you alright? I asked cautiously. As if my words were a spell, she finally unfreezes and throws herself into my arms. Thank God you're here, Ionis. Okay. So I can say, I will never let you get into harm's way again. She becomes our soulmate. Or one sweet kiss is the only reward I crave. Okay. She can become our soulmate. Wonderful. Okay. High tier titles for sale. It's a level 3 event here. A cleric is reported to be selling religious titles and offices to the highest bidder. A highly illegal practice. Okay. The case I'm asked to judge today is quite delicate. A local priest has been caught offering religious titles and offices to the unqualified children of local notables. The man, Pancreotius, filled his purse at God's and his superior's expense. The practice is, obviously, very illegal. Because of the religious nature of the crime itself and the parties involved, it is also rather controversial. There is great risk that, by my necessary intervention in their affairs, the clergy will be displeased. So I can confiscate the gold, or I can say, repent and return the money to your buyers. I'll say repent, that's fine, and because we are quite zealous, and that will give us 19 trait experience, which will get us very close to the next level. In fact, did it get us there? No, we're just about there. Like, we are one off, but we're one off getting a single point of stewardship. Ooh. Anyway, spouse aided you with learning studies. You gained 300 learning lifestyle experience. You gained focus student for 4 years, giving us learning. Wonderful. Thank you, wife. I appreciate that. Why is the book collection struggling to make? Look at this. It's like, I don't know when it's going to finish. I don't know when it's going to finish. My wife fell pregnant again. Basilius won his peasants' revolt. Excuse me? Your head of faith, the ecumenical patriarch, would grant a claim on the Byzantine Empire. Is that because... No, he is Orthodox again. Wait, he wasn't Orthodox at one point. Now he's Orthodox again. Why would you give me a claim on the Empire? He likes us. We're Greek. He doesn't like our liege very much. He's a murderer and he's sinful. Ah, and we have enough piety to make it happen. Do we want to press claim on the Byzantine Empire? No. It may be the quickest way to get increased power, right? It may be the quickest way for us to get increased power, but I don't want it. I don't want it right now. It's not part of my plans. Our plan is not to immediately become emperor and then just make this a Roman conquest thing. We could do that, but we don't need to. I'm going to take restraint, by the way. Restraint does nothing for us, but we can take it. We probably want to embrace celibacy at some point once we have like a few children, but right now we have one child. Also, as this is the first time we've come across it in this series, I'm not going to take Know Thyself until at least we have healthy. The reason is, and some people have confirmed this, some people have said they're not sure, but mostly I've seen confirmations of this. Know Thyself, when it pops up and says you will die in 1 year, your character will then die in 1 year, right? So what you want to do is you want to, in theory, stack up as many health bonuses before then as possible, because then your character will not die in 1 year as close to the... Like, let's say that your character is 55, right? And they're going to die when they're 56 with the amount of health that they currently have. Know Thyself would trigger. You are then going to die when you're 56. However, if you didn't have Know Thyself and you got healthy, you might then live till you're 60, right? With the medium health boost. However, because Know Thyself is already triggered, you will die at 56. So what you want to do is you want to get as many health boosts as you can, so the date that you will die is further in the future. Then you get the benefits of the health boost, and you get to know when you're going to die, which is in of itself quite useful. Anyway, essentially we're not going to take it until we have at least healthy, until we have 2 perks built up, basically. Then we're going to skip over and get healthy. We could even wait till whole body, because we are fairly young as well. So we could wait till we get both of those. Although, again, because we're fairly young, it actually doesn't matter as much. It matters a lot more when you're playing an older character, because older characters have health boosts that go up and down based upon tons of different things. A younger character, we're probably quite fine taking Know Thyself, because we'll get the next perk miles before this even triggers. Anyway, that's fine. There is another peasants' rabble faction against our liege. Spouse, up to the task. Some of my counsellors believe the job is theirs by right of blood or influence alone. How wrong they are. I expect results, yet I'm often disappointed. After a long day, I am complaining to Georgia when she interrupts me. Let me do something about it, husband. A few lessons might sharpen their wits. So we can get studying martial for 15 years for this person, which is 2 martial, 1 learning. We can get studying stewardship, which is 2 stewardship, 1 learning. We can get studying learning, which is +3 learning. Or we can lay with her and get 20 opinion. And we don't need to lay with her. as she is already pregnant, as you can see by the fact that her body is escaping her clothing, which I'm fairly certain is not meant to happen. So we will skip that option. Usually I just pick the option which gives us opinion. However, they all give us opinion here. So, let's see. I would prefer to get the stewardship one because I'd prefer not to get county corruption and I'd like the chance of getting random money. So let's choose that. So this now means that I have a chance of getting extra taxes and county corruption is less likely, I believe. Also, it gives us more taxes all of the time, which is also quite nice. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, cool. I have another son. This is our second son. I need to come up with a name. So we have Zacharias as our first son. Then we're going to have... I can't just call him Zacharias again. We could have Isaac. Okay, we'll have Isaac and Zacharias. Sure. Right. That's fine. There's many wars we could declare that we're not going to declare. We will not pardon our lover yet. We should be the... where are we? We should be... Choose favorite child. Showcase... pre-select a child to showcase among your potential next playable characters. Oh, okay. This is for choose your destiny, which we may or may not look into, but we don't need to worry about that. I just want to educate the child. There we go. We can also designate heir, which is separate. So what's the difference between designating heir and that? So designating heir is saying, I want the person who inherits my titles to be this person, right? So I could say, I want the person who inherits my titles to be Isaac instead of Zacharias, right? That would be fine. That would be how that works. Choose favorite child adds your child to the options of a new thing, which is choose your destiny. So when your character dies, you used to be given just a flat option of, well, you weren't even given an option, you just played whoever your primary heir was. Now what it will do is it will give you an option of 3 children, or it can give you an option if you press the button, or not necessarily children, just 3 people of your dynasty who you could play as. So it could be that you're going to play as this person, it could be that you play as this child. But let's say that you have 10 children, it's only ever going to show you 3 options, right? So you would use this to basically say, no, actually I want that child as one of my options for the next person that we play. So we may or may not use this. I suspect we probably won't, but I could see a world where we might be like, actually, our primary heir is good, but we've got like a godchild over here. Maybe we play as them. We let the primary heir go off and do their things. We stick with this child. I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to worry about that right now because we only have 2 children. Although we do now have an heir and a spare, which is traditionally what you aim for. You aim for your heir plus a spare in case your heir dies. A sacred text. As I'm out for a stroll around the market, a merchant calls me over, insisting she has something that will pique my interest. The scent of drying herbs and foreign tinctures overwhelms my senses as I approach the stall. She is rifling through her collection of dusty tomes and other treasures. After some digging, the merchant produces an old book and insists I need it for what is to come. Okay. I can buy the book. I can try and negotiate. I will take what I need, or what need have I for books? I'll at least try negotiating. Sure, I would like the book though. We failed to negotiate a better price. A sacred text. Bibliomancy. As I'm putting away my newly acquired Greek golden legend, a slip of parchment falls out. Upon it are instructions for a practice called bibliomancy, where one might divine their fortune from a passage in a book. All I need to do is open this text to a random spot and read the first fateful verse my eyes might fall upon. I have nothing to do with this unholy practice. I would gain stress because I'm zealous and diligent. I'm assuming what this is I would gain stress because I'm diligent and I'm losing, and I would gain, or I'm gaining less stress because I'm zealous, right? Like, this is the zealous option, but the diligent stress is higher. But the temptation is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. I follow the instructions to the letter and select a passage at random from the text before me. Shivering with anticipation, I open my eyes and read. Fear is the mind killer. A coward dies 1,000 tiny deaths, yet a valiant man dies but once. What am I to make of this? Fear is a little death that brings total obliteration. This requires further research, or what utter nonsense. Okay. This is an interesting book as well. Guess we could try and get focused reading for 3 years. There's a chance we become tense, but I'll take the risk. Requires further research. Okay, so that got us 100 learning lifestyle experience, and focused reading for 3 years increased our learning. Learning is now 21, which is not bad. We now also have a journal, the Golden Greek Legend, an excellent collection of hagiographies written in simple Latin, sure to be appreciated by everyone. The cover is leather, displaying a repeating image of a detailed row enunciated by the placement of rock crystal inserts. Now, I just want to check something. I'll be back in a second. So, I have looked up what I wanted to look up, and it was from the book I thought it was. So, I've renamed the book Greek June. However, there was a minor mix-up, as you may have noticed by the date having moved forward very slightly. The minor mix-up is that I didn't unmute my mic. So, I'm going to redo the event, and then we're going to jump back here with the results of the event, because really it's the only thing that happened in those couple of months. A sacred text, nothing to fear. I've finally cracked the mysterious passage from Greek June, and I feel much wiser for it. Thanks to that merchant, the threads of fate suddenly appear more clearly to me. Fear may well be the mind killer, but I have faced my fear. Without fear, I die but once, and this gave us a learning lifestyle perk. Back in the present, that learning lifestyle perk, we're not going to take, because we, as I previously said, we're not going to take Know Thyself until we have healthy, because it's just more optimal not to do so. So, that's what we're going to do. Anyway, anything else here? Nope, I think we're good to let it unpause for a little bit. I do still have you with a... just double check something here. Yes, I'm still educating you, that's fine. Wonderful. Right. Well, let's carry on, and we have finished our book collection, which is perfectly timed, as now we have a book. Also, I didn't look at the book in this timeline, so monthly piety plus 4%. Very good. Prestige is, like, this is so low it's not even worth talking about. Monthly learning lifestyle experience is quite nice, because that's an extra plus 5%. On top of the fact that we now have book collection, which is another plus 5%. So another plus 10% overall. But we're not going to get that many more learning lifestyle perks that we want, but, you know, it's not bad to have quite a lot of lifestyle experience for your main lifestyle. So that's pretty cool. What else does it give us? Zealot vassal tax contribution. Well, that would matter if we had any zealot vassals. I think the chances are very low that we would have any zealot vassals, because this guy, he is a minor landowner. This guy, he, as an administrative realm vassal, does have something. Oh, he's actually zealot. What? He's actually zealot. Never mind, we have one zealot vassal. You are a minor landowner. And then you are also a minor landowner. But although it gives us 1% with minor with zealot vassals, let's just have a little look here. So this guy would currently pay us, with his taxable income, he would pay us 7.5% of 0.9. So he would pay us 7.5% of 0.9, and then from that actually no, that is with plus 1%. Yeah, so otherwise so that adds up to 16, then you have 16. Wait a second, that doesn't add up. Wait a second, that doesn't add to 7.5, does it? That's 15, 16, that should be 8. Oh, you know what? I think I've done this before. Not all bonuses are treated equally. I think I was right the first time with what I was saying. So I think these two are the same. Then that is times by 0.5, and I think the 1% is applied after. I think I've seen this when looking at taxes before. Not all tax bonuses are applied equally. Either that or it's just incorrect, which is also perfectly valid. It could just be incorrect. So, anyway. The amount is minuscule, basically. We're talking percent of a percent of a percent. It's just like, it's not even worth thinking about. It's like, we're not going to optimize for that. We're not going to be like, ooh, I need more zealot vassals so I can get 1% tax. Because we're not really in a position where we're getting anything from them. Anyway, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.